Hi, we are now semi-live. Hi, I'm Kira858, and today we're bringing you our mid-season finale, episode 12 of season 2 for Rivenwood Academy. So we're going to jump right into this because, again, this is our last episode for the year. We'll be back in January. And so we're going to jump straight into our intro video so we can have all the time we need to see what type of madness we get into. So with that said, we'll transition in now.
Micah, Ardris, Meaty, Kellen, Otis. Behold the spellbinding abilities of Rivenwood Academy.
All right, and we're back. So with that said, Aaron, take it away.
You find yourself very suddenly in a overwhelmingly beautifully wrought place. It has ridiculously tall ceilings that are covered in stained glass. It is made of stone and wood. It is very, very large, and you appear to be kind of in the middle of this hub. There's this long corridor that you're roughly in the mid part, the midway point. But there's lots of different ones that kind of branch off from where you are. So it looks like wherever you have teleported, you found yourself in the very middle of it, and you watch as several of these realm knights suddenly turn and look at you, weapons in the middle of being drawn, because you were not scheduled to be here. Ardris, you know exactly where you are. The second your eyes kind of adjust to the light, you know where you are. This is the Hall of Mages. And as all of these realm knights turn to look at you, one of them immediately stops and calls the rest of them off. I don't know if you'd recognize them. Make a quick history check.
Oh, that's a 16 plus 9, 25.
Oh, very nice. They're wearing an insignia that shows the family that they're from, and they're from the family Lambden. It appear to be like a captain of these realm knights. And as soon as he sees you, he is calling everyone off, goes into a kneel, and says, Heir Ilaran. Wait, what are you doing here?
Ardris will pull himself up to his full height, kind of letting his regal air approach the best he can in his current condition. Just fine. He may stand. We do not have a lot of time for ceremony, unfortunately. Has any of the other students from Rivenwood Academy arrived?
No, yes, of course, but your father, Lord Alar, just left to wage war on the Gorgon Empire. 1 second, and he goes looking for a cleric to very quickly send a message to try and figure out what's going on.
I will send the message. I have sending. I will do this. I will do the trouble of learning the spell. There are very few people who understand how the spell works, apparently, outside of this place. Then yeah, he'll just make casting.
As you wish, Heir Ilaran. Okay, so you're going to cast sending to your father?
Yes.
Okay. It's kind of weird because you are kind of just standing in the middle of this, and a lot of people have stopped and have taken very respectful poses, like kind of like recognizing that you are in the space. But you take a moment, you cast sending. What do you say?
We have managed to return safely thanks to the high-ups of the academy. Several of us are injured, but be very careful if you're intending to continue. I think that's roughly 25 words. I think.
Sure. There's a moment's pause, and then you hear a response that says, "It is pleasing to hear of your safe return. I intended to ensure your safe return. I am uncertain whether I shall continue to obliterate them from the face of the planet."
I will use the ring again. Why not? I'm getting every use out of this spell that I can. I leave that to your judgment. I will ensure there is a report written about all that had transpired, waiting for you for your return. And I will do what I can here. I wish you the best of luck.
Very well. I will see you in victory. And that is the rest of the message that you get.
While Ardris is is casting the spell and communicating with the knight, I would like to do something.
Okay. You are loosely surrounded by these people, but like you're with Air Alarin. No one is going to stop you.
No. I literally am just going to like gently elbow Otis.
Otis is gonna look over at Kellen.
I'm kind of tired. That knight dude said air, right? Like some kind of prince or something.
Oh, I thought it's just because he can use wind magic or something that we don't know about.
We'll have to ask him later. That's it.
Hey, where's the chancellor?
As you finish up all that and you say, "Where's the chancellor?" Kellen, you hear from a startlingly far distance away.
Ooh.
And then you look over and you see Pyrea like Terminator running towards you, like just booking it into you. And like when she gets to you, she wraps her arms around you and is just like, "So there was this old guy and he said you were okay and I didn't know if I could trust him. I am incredibly happy that you're here. Are you okay? Is everything okay? You are. How did you even get here?" And like she's doing that thing where like she is so kind of amped that she's not even giving you time to answer the questions. She just keeps asking more questions.
He just kind of looks at her while he hugs her back, and then he waits for the energy to start to die down a little bit, and he says, "Well, I don't think you should necessarily make a practice of trusting a bunch of old men, but I think you can trust that one."
Kellen, from a startlingly long distance away, you hear someone yell, "Kellen!" And you see Pyrea running towards you, Terminator style. She runs over into where you are, wraps her arms around you, and says, "Oh my God, okay, so there was this old guy, he said you was okay. I didn't know if I could believe him, but I mean, you look okay. Are you okay? How did you get here?" And continues to do as asking all of these questions without like kind of giving you a chance to answer.
Oh boy.
I respond the same way. But do I remember what just happened a moment before that?
You remember it. To everyone else, this has only happened once.
I respond more slowly this time, hesitant, probably seemingly without reason.
No, but seriously, are you okay? Did you... Okay, hold on. They have really good like healers and stuff here. We can definitely get this sorted. It'll be fine. You are going to be fine. I can tell you that.
Yeah, we all witnessed this hiccup in space time and recognize it.
You only saw the second time.
Oh, okay. So that's just for him. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You say something about healers? I gotta come take a look at Mary. She's saying string.
They're really there. Trust me.
Nobody see it but you.
Like Pyrea gives you another quick like tight hug and then turns and like hugs Miri and then turns and then like awkwardly hugs Otis and like gets to Ardris and does the thing where like she goes in for the hug and then stops. It kind of like slowly backs up and then turns to your newest party member. Oh no, she definitely goes to Micah and kind of like goes down on a knee to wrap him up, and then turns to your newest party member, which now that kind of things are settling down, you can see she looks like a Midwest tourist in New York City. Eyes wide, looking up at the impossible heights. She's got a little notebook out, and she's taking notes on maybe the buildings, maybe the people, you don't know. She seems very like intrigued by what's going on. And Pyria looks at her and then kind of comes over to where you are, Kellen, and is like, so I don't recognize her.
Yeah, I don't think she's from the academy. She makes a lot of notes, which makes me trust her. She also asks a lot of questions, which makes me not.
Yeah, that's fair.
Healer.
Are we gonna go find everyone else, or? And as she's saying that, the Lambden Realm Knight is talking to you and is saying, "Well, if you're ready to come this way, of course your entourage can come with you. I'm sure that we have a lot to debrief and to go over."
What's
You are
an
being offered
entourage?
a choice. Your choice is: are you going to go find the school, or are you going to go find people that you can talk to about what's going on?
Of course, I believe it would be best to formally go over the information we have at our disposal. But first, could you arrange for a few healers to be brought over? Several of my companions here are quite hurt, and perhaps something for them to eat. They have been through quite a lot over the last few days.
Of course. If you will follow me, I can arrange for healers and food to be brought to the meeting room, as it were. And Pyre's like, yeah, I mean, you could go that way, or you could go, like, we found Scram. Like, that's pretty cool. I mean,
found
everyone's
Scram?
really you, so, like...
Is she an entourage too? Is that why we couldn't find her?
Okay, pull the room. Who's all right with the party split? Because Aaron is offering a choice, and I say, knowing what we know, we need to go gather information in both of these places at once.
I mean, I'm down for it. It's just who wants Otis. He's gonna go with Miri. So
Mary does not care for politics.
Micah is primarily just looking for their mother. They are hoping that. Go ahead.
So, on okay, yeah, that's right. I'm remembering. They weren't with us. They were helping to guide us. So they're probably around here somewhere, but we aren't exactly sure if they're like with the school somewhere else or what's up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if everyone is fine with the party split, then Kellen is going to propose. I think that Ardris can certainly tell you the story. If you are amenable to it, Captain, because he's not sure how to address the knight.
Oh, the knight is also not sure how to address you, and it's like this awkward, like, well, the
Prince of
Helen?
Darkness.
Helen.
Your Highness,
It's-
Kellen.
I didn't know you was royalty.
I'm very confused. As the heir Alarin decides, so we shall do.
Okay, cool. Hey, Ardris.
Please arrange for them to be given an escort or two to make sure they're able to find themselves around safely. And you all, please do not cause any trouble for anyone.
And if we do,
I do it or what?
Please don't cause any trouble.
Is anyone going with Ardris? That's my question.
Otis is definitely not.
Okay, so it's not so much a party split as like one person going off and doing things.
That's not. Ooh, if that's gonna be how it shakes out. Oh, Kellen's not gonna like that.
Mary wants to see Scram.
And Otis is gonna follow Miri, so
Okay, Kellen pauses and he waits.
2.
And Pyrie is just looking at you.
He looks at her and he says, "You go catch up with them. I'm going with Ardris."
So I would rather come with you guys.
Ardris?
I believe I've done enough of telling you all what to do, so do as you please.
Let's go. I'll kind of grab her hand and follow Ardris.
I have no idea where we're going, but it sounds important, and I feel like I'm important just for being in the room. Sweet. All right, so Ardris, Kellen, and Pyrea are heading towards some sort of meeting. The rest of you, did you spare like a night realm, a realm knight, one of those two, a realm knight, in order to guide you on to where you're going, since you don't have Pyrea to show you where everyone is? We're going to follow that group first. So, Otis, Micah, and Miri, you've got this very tall realm knight who is guiding you. And she seems friendly? Kind of weird. Most of the people here have been kind of stuffy, but she's just kind of like, I mean, she's still got very good posture. She's like, whatever, you know, she's like in her whole realm knight regalia kind of thing, but like, she gives like a little smile to you and is like, all right then, this way. You're looking for your classmates and such, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful. It is kind of a long walk, but it is a beautiful walk, so I think you'll enjoy it.
That's gonna be a problem. And Otis is gonna readjust the saddle he's carrying.
Oh no.
That looks heavy. Do you want some help?
You offered me help?
Indeed.
Sure.
And she kind of just one arm lifts it and throws it over her shoulder, and it looks kind of effortless.
Whoa.
Like, cool.
How did you do that?
I think the official line is training and going to bed on time.
Nah, we don't do that at all.
I have heard. Well, not about you in particular. It's like a teenager thing. I'm not really sure if that's... You are teenagers, right?
Is that not
Age
to
is a
us?
weird thing for, like, you know, outside of the whole... I guess we mid-centurion kind of feel. I don't know.
I'm 17. I don't
That
think I've been alive
is
for a century.
I'm 8.
8? That's terrifying. They allow you to walk around? Like 8? That is barely just stated 8. Okay. Okay. Oh, awesome. I learn new things every day.
What's the problem? I was home alone at 5.
You... What?
I almost fell out of the wagon when I was 3.
Okay, honestly, we do have enough time to unpack all this. Like, if you're willing to try and explain some of this to me, because I am so confused. And as she's talking to you, I'm not going to interrupt this conversation, but I do want to describe some of your scenery. So like I said, impossibly tall, kind of think like Gothic cathedral style, where it kind of comes to the point up in the top. I don't know if that's Gothic, don't at me. And then like, beautiful stained glass and or like just kind of holes cut in that don't have any glass that allow tons of natural sunlight in here. For as large of a building this is, it's very bright and well lit.
And I have a question. Oh, okay.
Hit me.
Does the stained glass depict anything?
It is very high, but I'll let you make a perception check.
On it.
I feel like I've disappointed some I don't know, architect followers or whatever.
16 on my D20. That is a 1 on my D4, so that's a 17 on dice, and then adding 7. Adding 8. That's right, I leveled up. So that's 25.
Most people couldn't see it, but you look up and you're like, oh, hey, that's really nice. Most of it is pretty idyllic. It's kind of got this like long lost history kind of feel, like not necessarily creation myths per se, but kind of like how the world once was. And a very beautiful, very lots of flora and fauna and whatever. There are a few that seem to highlight individuals. You don't know these individuals, but they've got, if you're going to give it a modern analog, kind of like saint depictions, where it's got in various poses and whatever is important to them. There's a couple of them scattered around. You don't understand, to your eyes, there doesn't seem to be any chronological progression in how these are spaced out. But yeah, mostly there's no depictions of war or oh look, the great 3-headed dragon or something like that. It's mostly pretty idyllic and chill.
Okay, mostly serene kind of scape. Okay.
Yeah, and very, very bright. So as the light is coming through, it is enhancing the quality of light in the building.
Interesting.
And every once in a while, there's these little hubs that come off of this main thing. So if you're picturing this from an aerial point of view, it would probably look like one large hall that goes let's say north to south, and then kind of snowflakes off of that into branching different things that get a little bit progressively smaller as you get to more specific areas.
I get it. Okay.
So you go for a pretty decent time, and she's like, okay, wait, but what comes before teenager? Is it mid-ager? Young ager?
Child
ager. Ooh, okay. So there's child ager, and then teenager, and then just adults.
Well, you don't always put the ager. It's all one word too. I don't. That's what my dad's taught me. I don't know.
I honestly hate the common language sometimes. You could make things so much simpler. And as she's saying this, you turn into one of these side passageway. It is still as tall, but slightly narrower. And it seems to be there were lots of people moving around doing stuff. You saw lots of people dressed in the robes of mages, considering you are in the halls of mages. And relatively few of these Realm Knight kind of guards or whatever. It doesn't seem like they're really here for security or something. It's more of a presence. But this hall is way more lively. There's lots more chatter and talking as you wander into this. Okay, so you start as a child. and then you go teenager, and then you go adult, and you are not adult.
No. You also missed one more before child. There's baby.
What? Okay, so baby's like what? I don't know. 1 year old until like 10 years old?
No, in between you have like baby and then child.
Well, child doesn't start at 10? And it's just, it keeps on going like this. Like, she is struggling with trying to like get this, like.
I love it.
You go not too far away, and then all of a sudden you hear this cheer, and you see as a whole bunch of people start thronging towards you. You do see Scram, who is dragging Raisha like behind her.
Oh, no.
Like, you know, he's kind of like, but like he's not letting her out of his sight. So like, as she runs, he is also running. You see just a number of students, freshmen and sophomore, that you can go see, or rather, who have seen you and who are cheering up and who are excited to see you. Is there anyone in specific that you're looking for?
Oh.
All right, so we've got all of these people running towards you. I don't know if you're looking for anyone in particular, but I will say you do see Iana, who looks far better than the last time you saw her, because you had seen her very busted up when the school had exploded. You see Narcus.
Narcus.
Yeah. And Scram and Raisha. Is there anyone else you're looking for?
Yeah.
Me.
Go
ahead.
Micah's going to look up to the guard and say, where is my mom?
Oh, I don't know. Who is your mom? I guess is where we should start.
Oh, Chancellor Rosani.
Chancellor Rosani. We have a vice chancellor. What was his name? Krator, maybe? Something like that.
So Vice Chancellor Krator.
Professors. I don't see any.
Micah, I don't know if
there's no chancellor here.
I don't know if they'll know exactly who we're talking about. We should probably go ask the vice chancellor.
Okay. Wait. One question. Do you know who Eyewitness?
You're talking to the Realm Knight?
Mm-hmm.
I win. No, I don't. I don't believe I've met an Iwan. Have I?
Yes. But it's okay. I think I have my answer.
Right. Well, this has been enlightening and confusing in equal measure. I'm very, very concerned about what's going on, but I see that you have your friends here, all of these teenagers and the like. I believe there are some of your adults that way. She points kind of towards the further end, and you can see the Vice Chancellor kind of looks up and gives you a bit of a wave and seems to be very happy to see you. And standing with him is Drogon, who immediately is like, I'm out, and starts working your way towards you.
Oh, this is actually grinning ear to ear.
Where did you want this saddle?
I don't know. Put it anywhere. Hi, Drogon.
Cool. And she just lets it drop. She's like, all right, I think I'm out. Bye. And she takes off.
Mary lets out a little scream and drops.
Thunk.
Yo, if it landed on Scram, that would be hilarious.
Oh no.
People are moving out of Drogon's way as he beelines towards you, but Scram and Ray should definitely make it there first. And so Scram comes up and throws her arms around you, Miri. Raisha stops a little bit before that. And Scram's like, hey, hi, how's it? Oh, hi.
Oh, Scram, you were missing for forever. Where did you come from?
I don't know, but I'm here. That's cool. You were also missing. Where did you come from?
I came from the portal. From over there. Yeah.
What? You went through a portal?
Huh?
Okay.
Not the messed up one. The other
I
one.
had to walk forever, and you came there. I'm so jealous. You're so cool.
Mary
there's a
will
lot
look
of
at
detail
Raisha and give him like a little like come here.
Racer just does that thing where like he kind of like sidles, like he doesn't want to look like he's coming closer to you, but he is sort of moseying that way. Hands in his pockets, kind of like not looking anywhere but you guys. He gets a little bit closer and he's like, "What's up?"
Give me a hug.
No. Nobody would know.
You should.
I should. You know, this is really more Scram, and Scram's like, Scram is a hug. And she just grabs you again in a hug. I've gotten more hugs than I've ever wanted in my life because Scram's back, so I'm good. Thanks. And Scram's now doing the thing where like she's kind of like just hugging your leg. Significantly shorter than you are. A little kobold, so. Okay. So you were missing and you came back, and I was missing and I guess I came back. And so we're all here, right? Well, not all here. There's about half of us here. I think the other ones are still coming, but should be here soon, probably, right?
You mean not all of the academy is here yet?
Right. So like there's like 3 different places that we were supposed to go to, but then you guys exploded. That was not cool. I thought you were dead. And then there were the other 2, and so I got on the one, and we were like to the east, and so we had to walk the whole way. It was so long. But then the other ones, I don't know where they are, but they haven't come yet. They're coming. I guess they just also have to walk.
So,
Isn't this place so cool? Like the ceiling is so tall.
It is. Yeah.
And do you know what they call it?
What?
It's called mages.
That's so cool. I have a question.
What?
Has anybody seen the Chancellor?
Oh no. I didn't see her. But the Vice Chancellor and Drogon, they've been really cool, and they've like been helping us out and everything. There is a lot of people though that I haven't seen. That's sad. I'm sad now.
Oh, give Scram a little head pet.
Her little ears kind of droop.
Oh no!
Poor baby.
Curls into like a little ball.
Oh.
Okay, no more sad. I am Scram, and we're okay, and you're here, and I'm here, and everyone else will be fine. Okay. Probably.
Otis is preoccupied with Drogon for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Drogon finishes pushing his way through. He comes straight to you and like doesn't hesitate. Just wraps you in a hug as well.
Oh, Otis is hugging him back.
And not far behind him, having seen Drogon move, is Elliot, who just kind of wraps both of you. So it's just like a little cuddle pile. Yeah, and so Drogon's like, "Wow, about time you made it. I've been looking for you."
everybody's alive. Well, I almost wasn't, but whatever. I missed you guys.
Oh, we missed you too. It's very good to see. And you can he's getting choked up. He's having trouble getting the words out. You can see like his eyes are watering a little bit. Elliot is much
more composed.
No, the opposite. Elliot is just like Elliot is just weeping,
bawling.
Yeah, Elliot is just
The
weeping.
opposite.
Yeah, I mean, picture this massive orc dressed in really nice like a suit with like a vest and everything, just bawling.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, I gotta introduce you or reintroduce you or whatever. And Otis is going to gesture to Nazarath, whom I assume is in the area at least.
Numenara. And like that light goes, and then she just kind of circles around the three of you for a while before sitting down on top of your bowler hat.
Oh yeah, did he get it back? I guess he would have gotten it back then.
She would have given it back.
Yeah, because Otis never took it.
It's
Because
been a
Mary
while,
said
but
if you wanted, you could take it. Otis never took it.
Well, if you're not wearing your bowler hat, then it's directly on top of your head.
Oh, that's perfectly fine. His little bushy afro, which is nesting material essentially. He's used to that. So
this distracts Drogon a bit as he's just like goes into a little bit of nature science mode, and immediately is just like trying to figure out what's the deal. This is your Azarath?
yes and no. You
Yeah,
remember
it's
I told you about
different.
Nadine?
Yeah, I remember some sparks and stuff.
Apparently the two combined or whatever, because Azarath died, but then Nadine went to her, and now they the same person, but different or what? That's what she says.
Really?
You can ask her.
Hello. What name did you say you were calling them?
Nazareth.
Hello, Nazareth. Hello. All right. So she speaks now. That's new.
She always talked. You guys just didn't understand it.
You know, that's fair. All right. So we're kind of in the middle of like this little celebration going on in this wing as various other people are coming up. Some of them you know, some of them you don't know very well, but they know of you because of all of the stuff that's been going down. And so people are very happy. They usher you in. They start plying you with food and making sure you're okay, giving you changes of clothes because you guys have been running really hard and been in a lot of battles and scrapes. They want to hear all the stories. So I imagine there's going to be some story time around like a couple of like braziers or something. And I imagine
Mary will tell about the death tree.
Exaggerated stories are probably going to come through.
And you know Otis is going to be enraptured, so.
But before we get to those stories, I'm going to hop on over to the other group.
Absolutely.
So Ardris, Kellen, and Pyrea are issued. It is a bit of a walk. It's kind of perpendicular to where the rest of the group went. This area seems to be much more controlled. Like the rest of the place, the people are just kind of wandering around, whatever. There are actually a couple of realm knights that are posted up at these doors, and people who should not come in aren't trying. So, like, you are ushered through and taken to what is a very nice kind of like open meeting room area. There is a door so you can get some privacy, but right now it is open, and there's like these large loungers kind of around the room, around a central rectangular stone table that has some gems inlaid in it. Ardris, have you ever been in this room before?
Probably following behind his father on more important meetings.
So you know that this table is infused with arcanotech that can help to display like maps and this kind of thing. If there were like a war council or something, this would be something that they would use. It hasn't been used for that purpose in a very long time. But if they're talking about, trade relations or even what's going on within Therentamiel, there is a certain enchantment that is going on with this table that allows them to use it as more than just a table.
Right, well, before we begin, who of note is still here? I know my father's left. I imagine he's taken quite a few people with him, but are there any more of importance still here? Or
when they usher you in, there's a few people milling about. They don't look to be the people you're looking to speak to. This looks to be you asked for healers and food, and they are delivering those. And the Night Realm from Lambden is like, we are making preparations and getting people over here. Your arrival, you understand. I apologize. It was rather sudden, so we did not have things already in place, but shortly, ere alarm.
It is fine. Take your time and make sure that your people are still taken care of. I feel things are going to be quite busy for quite some time after this.
Of course. Is there anything else that we can provide during the unfortunate need for waiting? Again, I apologize.
If it
Only
wasn't
speaking out
too
of-
much of an issue.
I'm only speaking out of turn because Ardris said that he was done telling me what to do. I'm not sure anyone's going to tell you while we're here, but just so you know, we appreciate everything that you're doing to help keep us safe.
I and my house are honored.
Of course, that will be all that is needed for now. And make sure that the other people who are understandably harmed or in trouble or having a difficult time are taken care of.
Of course. And he kind of gives you, sketches a short little bow and then backs out of the room. He's left the doors open, so it's up to you if you want to close them. You get a moment of privacy if you want. There are quite a number of different, it's kind of like finger foods, like platter kind of stuff. It's not like big meal service or anything like that, but lots of different kinds of foods that you could eat, like fruits and that kind of thing. And then there are healers on deck who are expectantly kind of standing against the wall and waiting to be deployed.
All right, well, please make yourself comfortable. If you have any injuries, I'm sure that they would be more than willing to assist you. And then he will begin kind of taking the clothing that he has and trying to, regal it to the best of his abilities. And then he will approach one of the healers. I would really appreciate you treating these some of the more pressing injuries.
Of course.
He's
Would be my
very
honor.
injured.
So they're going to spend the time to heal you up to full. It might take a couple of people doing some stuff, but they are very good healers. So take a moment and go ahead and bump yourself back up to full health. Kellen, if you are injured, you're not injured anymore
Ooh.
for similar
So-
reasons.
Okay. Cullen actually was not injured. He's just very tired from lack of spell slots. The healing ring brought him back up to full health.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Yes.
Oh, man.
But he wasn't really able to help heal Ardris because lack of spell slots.
Very true.
Eat as much as you like. Is there anything else that you all need?
No, I'm just here to help support you and, add any details to whatever story that we need to tell to whoever we need to tell it to.
Yeah, no, I'm just here to listen or whatever.
Are you sure you should have to be here for this? This is dangerous information.
I'm okay with it, but it's your place. If you think it's too dangerous, then I'll understand.
I've had enough of treating you all like children, so regardless, it was your decision.
He turns to Pyrea. Are you willing to learn some things that you can't even tell to the rest of your team? What do we call them teams? What do we call the pods?
Well, we all have our team
They're
names, right?
parties, and she's a member of the Black Guard.
Oh, hers the black card. Okay.
That you can't even tell to your party members? Because I trust you, but if you'd rather not be keeping secrets from them, then maybe it's better if we don't.
And she takes a moment to really think about it. Like, she's not giving you a snap answer. Like, she takes a moment to really go. She goes, honestly, I am kind of so sick of not knowing what's going on. I'm willing to keep a couple of secrets. Just, you know.
Right, well, suit yourself. Archis will take a seat at the table, and he will check the book now that he has a moment to see if there's been any new updates.
Ooh, good question. If there's been any updates. The Thymus one is now labeled the way that the Phobos one was labeled. And as you get past the diagrams, there is that same sheet of blank paper. Are you looking at it?
Mm-hmm.
It takes a moment, but you do see in a shaky hand, it says that is 2. TWO.
Well, I would suggest you all, if you're hungry or thirsty, to take care of that sooner rather than later. Once the meetings begin, I have a feeling there won't be much time for pleasantries. And he will gesture to the healers. You may go and treat others as you see fit.
They give you a little bow and take off. So it is now just you in the room. There's like an attendant that's at the door, but on the outside, the door's open, so it'd be pretty easy to get her attention if you needed something. But she is giving you the room as it is. Is there anything you need to talk about? No. Awesome. So you don't have to wait too long before you see a pair of familiar looking faces come through the door. You see the Lord High Marshal Thamus and Lady Sylvana, who you met during the carnival games during the dunk tank. You know them well. Lord High Marshal Thamus is human, but Lady Sylvana is elven. She is she has like paler tan skin with like this very golden glow, deep brown eyes, white hair with an undercut on one side, and is wearing a bright red flowing silk gown with a silver trim along the edges. The Lord High Marshal Thamus is again in his full plate armor. You are aware both of these people are alumni of Rivenwood Academy. And as they enter, they were kind of talking to themselves, and once they see you, they stop. Lord High Marshal Thamus gives you, Ardris, a bit of a bow in a kind of, this is politics now, and we understand that it's very different from what it was like when we were at the school kind of thing. And Lady Sylvana kind of just gestures towards you. She is... You would be aware that she is very high kind of ranking in political circles in Elven society, so she's probably not going to bow to anyone.
Welcome, Lady Sylvana, Lord High Marshal. Please take a seat. And then he will go to the attendant. Would you mind describing this meeting for me? It would make things much easier for when my father returns.
Of course, as you wish. And the attendant will get out quill and ink and all that and kind of set up in the corner of the room so that she is unobtrusive to what is going on, but is able to hear everything. As she enters, though, she does stop and say, are you expecting anyone else, or should I close the doors?
I don't believe there's anyone else of important ranking to be here. So yes, I believe that should be everyone.
Yeah, Lady Sylvana's like, well, I think that we can start without them. If any are to arrive.
Yes, I believe they will be caught up quickly enough.
Okay, and so she shuts the doors and then goes, takes her spot, and begins to scribe for you.
Before we begin on our journey, what have been the state of things here in my absence?
And the High Marshal looks at you and says, well, Herr Alarin, it was relatively quiet until there was a message about a issue in the Grogan Empire. Lord Ilarin took things quite personally, and I believe we're on the edge of war. Outside of that, things have been calm. We had some refugees come in, I believe, from Rivenwood, which is disturbing. But I honestly have been so busy with the first thing that I haven't really had a chance to check in with the Rivenwood population.
So then I suppose we just start there. The Rivenwood Academy has unfortunately fallen. From last I was aware that the school has been mostly, if not completely, destroyed. It appears that the exit plan that the Academy had was tampered with by someone, which is why I was unfortunately not able to arrive here first to deliver the news myself.
But how is this possible? What is happening for the Academy to fall?
And he will reach in and pull and place the book onto the table.
She immediately reaches for it.
Are any of you aware of what exactly Saint Justinia had accomplished with a set of seals designed to keep a darkness from this world?
Roll me insight real quick, just to see how well you're able to parse their reactions.
That's 7 plus, that's 8.
8. All right, you're getting two very different reactions. Thamus goes, yeah, of course, she rode along with the banner and, said, stop fighting and all that, and spread the message of peace. It was noble, brave. Eventually, I think she unfortunately was felled in battle, but due to her efforts, the Continental Conclave began. And Lady Sylvana is listening to all this and is just like, well, that is a very human perspective. And kind of looks at you.
Yes, the commonly known history is unfortunately not what I was referring to. It appears that there are a select group of seals that were created or used to bind some sort of entity or force, I'm afraid I'm not entirely sure which, from this world. The saint was forced to take rather drastic measures to do this to ensure that these seals were not broken. And it appears there are a group of people who are interested in breaking these seals. I'm sharing this information with you all in an effort to prevent, and he will check with Cullen for a moment. Not entirely sure if you should go into too much detail about what could be.
He kind of it's weird. He looks at Ardris like directly in the eyes for probably longer than their eyes have ever made contact, maybe to the point of getting a little awkward. Still only 10 charisma. But then he says, if you're not going to be telling me what to do, then I'm not going to tell you what to do. I trust your judgment.
We have it on information that this has been attempted before, and that people have attempted to prevent these events from happening, but they were unsuccessful, and that this book is one of the ways in which the Saint ensured that future generations would be able to deal with this threat should it arrive. There may be people spread throughout this world who are working for whatever darkness this is, that have a vested interest in seeing that their work be undone. And it is up to us, apparently, to stop it.
So, if I am understanding you correctly, the Erisinozi is again being a threat. And there are two groups. One is trying to stop, one is trying to start.
Yes, that is true.
I would like to see this book.
Well, you all may read of it as you wish. I'm quite curious to see exactly what information either of you could get from it.
So Lady Savannah picks up the book and starts flipping through it. And your insight was terrible, so you don't know what her facial expression means. But she flips through it a little bit, flips back to the beginning, flips through it again. 8, man. Flips through it again, and then sets the book down and kind of pushes it towards Thamus, who picks it up and is like, I don't get it. There's nothing in here.
How curious. Neither of you can read anything in the book at all. There's no wording or images.
Lady Savannah is like, there has been something, but it is scribbling. It is not something that one is reading or looking at. And the High Marshal says, it's just blank. I don't even see scribbles. And he passes the book to Kellen. Because it's kind of going around in a circle. Kellen, do you take the book? You're muted.
Does not touch it, but he does peek to see if he can read any of the writing.
He handed it, or if you don't reach for it, he will set it on the table, but it is closed.
Hold on. Do I have like something metal I can do here really quick? I have prestidigitation. Can I use prestidigitation to the cover open?
You do so, and as you do, you see two very unimpressed faces looking in your direction. Just like, if, I understand you're young. Maybe this is, you are needing for prestidigitating all over the place, but like the time and the place, honestly. But yeah, you're able to do it. You can read, like you open it up.
Kellen actually looks directly over at them as they say this, and he says, well, one, this book might contain the knowledge that we need to save the world, and two, it's not my property, so I'm going to be careful with it. And then he looks down. Can I read anything?
You flipped open the whatchamacallit.
The cover, yeah.
The cover, so you do see the inscription, which I will send to you in chat. So now, two of you have seen the inscription. That is the only thing you can see on the front page that you've opened so far. You can read it. Actually, can you read it? What languages do you read?
Helen reads Celestial, Common, Deep Speech, Human, and Thieves' Cant.
You could not read it. Except, as you're looking at it, you can. You shouldn't be able to read it, but you can.
Can I recognize what language it should be that I do not know? Or could I have a history?
It looks like it was written in Elvish, and as you looked at it, you're like, ah, man, I don't read Elvish. And then as you looked at it, you're like, oh, no, wait, I understand what this is saying.
So I mean, keep in mind, he does take a second to memorize the actual inscription that he reads.
Okay.
Cool. But then he says, curious, Ardris, I can read it. But out of respect for you... Sorry?
Pyrea, are you able to read it?
Pyrea kind of looks over Kellen's shoulder and says, one moment. I mean, I see some writing. I don't really recognize it.
Oh, yes.
It's in Elvish. I can't read Elvish, but I can understand it from the book for some reason. Out of respect for you, I'm going to stop reading, and he'll kind of flip it back closed.
Very interesting, but insignificant for the moment. The important part is that the book appears to have left a message for us to follow, and then he will use the table to populate a map with a very quick marker of the known locations of the seals.
Ooh,
and then he will put
okay.
I don't know, a star, whatever elves use instead of stars for important things. Then he will mark the two that have already been dealt with. We have managed to reinforce 2 of these seals here and here. However, we must check the others as well. It appears that we must do this before things escalate any further than they are now.
If if I were going to be impolitely honest with you, Aeroline, it does seem like things have already escalated, considering Theron Tamiel is on its way to be at war.
I don't believe that will be too much of a problem. The Grogan Empire has recently had a very unfortunate run-in with the force of nature recently, and I doubt they will be able to mount much of a defense in time.
As you say. Kellen, you have not rolled insight. I will allow you to roll a separate insight check from
Got it.
Arjus.
We have to reflect it. So we don't do
22.
Ooh. You can see that Lord High Marshal Thamus immediately kind of like backs off to Arjus's like things will be fine. He doesn't press it at all, but he doesn't agree. You can see that Lady Sylvana is frustrated that she couldn't see the book and wants that book. Her eyes are on that book. Like even as you're talking about other things, her eyes, like she's good at being subtle about it. If you hadn't gotten a 22, you wouldn't have noticed. But like, she knows where that book is. Also, Pyrea is mostly just confused and not scared. And Arjus is Arjus. So that's what you get for a 22.
If you'll excuse me, High Marshal, for saying so, it appears that you don't agree with the heir's assessment of how these battles are going to go. Would you mind speaking as to why?
The issue is, once you open kind of the door to war, it's going to become a thing. We've had a nice long era of peace where there's been no conflict on the continent that could not be handled with, I don't know, treaties, trade, politics, the like. And whether we are successful or not in this campaign is actually not the problem. Also, I've never seen, you will, I hope, forgive me for saying this, I have never seen Lord Lauren angry before. It was terrible to witness. I don't know if even the raising of the Gorgon Empire will be enough to sate that anger.
There is the faintest of smiles on Arjus's face, very almost unnoticeable. Well, yes, of course, conflict is never a good thing, and I do fear that it may give our true enemies an opportunity to do whatever it is that they're after with this darkness. However, there are times where conflict is also unavoidable.
Yes. Well, it is unfortunate that your father was not able to be here. I think he is knowing more of the Erisinosi than most of the the people of power, at least here in Tamia. That's Lady Solana talking. If you couldn't tell by the atrocious accent I'm rocking for her.
You're doing a good job, Aaron. Lay with a rock with it.
Half French, half Russian, all bad.
It's the language of
I think it sounds great.
France and Russia
Oh.
together. But it's France and Russia at the same time.
You know, my elves, they come from all over, you know?
It's like-
Yeah, so
So, just to make sure I understand, High Marshal, you are not worried about Theron Tomiel's power in this conflict. You are worried about the conflicts that will happen tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and the next year, perhaps all over the world, now that people understand that war has come once again. Is that correct?
I could not give a good assessment of the Gorgon Empire's strengths or I know that they have quite a bit of defensibility terrain-wise. I don't know about this conflict. But yes, my fear stems not in this particular battle, but the battles to come.
Well, I cannot speak for the future, as I am not the most adept at anticipating or planning for the long term. However, I can confirm that the city was not an insignificant portion of it was in flames when we departed. So they will probably be unable to mount an effective defense for any sizable attack, at least not for a little while, which should be enough for this situation.
I would like to hear this story.
Before that, Ardris, have you seen your father angry before?
I've seen him mildly irritated before, or upset, but I wouldn't call it anger.
So he turns back to the High Marshal and the lady. He's like, you would call that uncharacteristic?
Lord High Marshal looks at you and just gives a nod. Like, he's in a difficult political position right now, with Ardris sitting right there, and also like it's difficult because you're kind of you're there as a guest, and it's very weird. But he gives you a small nod.
Yeah. Then Kellen just goes, right. Apologies. Thank you. Curious.
There's no point in dwelling on things that cannot be changed. I assume that he will be back here before too long. For now, we must determine what our next best course of action would be. We need to have someone visit the rest of these seals to at least ensure that they are in working order. Under normal circumstances, I would recommend sending small groups to each of them. However, I am concerned that if the rest of you are unable to read any of the words in this book, then it may be impossible for others to go into these places, at least not safely. Which most likely means that it will be my responsibility, at the very least, to visit each of them.
Ardris. Ardris. The DM loves you right now. Ardris, please roll an intelligence check with advantage.
I can do this. Okay, but that's just intelligence.
I would let you choose history or arcana if you wanted to do either one.
Oh, that's a 28 with arcana.
All right. When you say that out loud, it's like it clicks in your brain. Phobos was not particularly well hidden, but no one had been there before you got there. The path to Thymos, we talked about it when you traveled it. It looked so easy that anyone could have walked down this path. It wasn't particularly hidden, but no one had been there before you went. There's something there.
Of course. I should have figured this out before. It is perhaps the saint or someone else. It's most likely impossible for others without the book, perhaps, or I'm not entirely sure. I'd have to do a formal investigation. It appears that others are unable to find or locate these areas on their own.
Sorry, I do need to amend what I said just briefly. Okay was able to go to Phobos without you before you guys went.
But
We also know he was able to lead other people to those places, right? Because he spoke to us of leading people to the one by the tree, basically. He spoke of leading people there.
He spoke of trying to. You don't know if he was
Trying to,
successful or not. Yeah,
Okay.
but he believed
But-
that he could do so.
He believed he could do so. Yeah, okay.
Macduff, this is a theory at the moment, but it appears that there are perhaps 3 groups of people. There are those like myself who can properly read the words. Pierce Cullen can do the same. There are people who are aware vaguely that there are words, such as Pyria and Lady Sylvania, and then there are people who are unable to see anything at all. It may be possible for there to be separate groups to at least scout out the locations, but it would be dangerous to do so.
Well, it is my opinion. Thamus speaks up. It is my opinion. Well, we should probably bring some more people in on this. I don't. I mean, based on this map that you've shown, and he kind of is looking at where you've done this, I mean, it looks like it's all over the continent. It could be tricky to journey too much without making certain alliances, or what is your plan? Where? I mean, there's 7 of them. Let's go under the assumption that we could send groups of people to all of them.
Well, the way I see it, there are 2 primary possibilities. We could continue as we are, in which I and my companions here continue to each of them as we have been. I have put under a source of information that attempt has been tried before and that it will ultimately not be fast enough. But things seem to be occurring differently than anticipated, so perhaps that will be different this time. Or we can send individual units led by or escorted by someone who is able to identify these locations to each one. There is a risk there, but it may be the most effective outcome.
So the plan is to go to, you said there are 5 more of these, and you do something there, or is it you're guarding it from others?
The ones we have been to so far have been running out of their magical energy. If we get there in time, we should be able to simply refill them using various spells or magical power. So far it hasn't required too much, really only a few minor spells generally, but I cannot assume that the others will be equally low. Some may require higher amounts of magical power.
So go in, put magic in the seals. If we can power up all 7, then we're good.
I believe so, at least as well as what the Saint accomplished. I'd like to try and find some more permanent solution, but it is more important to stop the bleeding, so to speak.
I know it's been a while since we played, so I'm not sure how much is player knowledge and how much of it is role playing. Both of you would remember the book and OK have both talked about an 8th.
Oh man, it is. It's not one. I forgot about it.
Right, but when he told his story, they never even made it to the 8th one, right?
When he told this story, they had just finished the 7th, and they realized it wasn't enough. They needed an 8th. And for Argis's point of view, you've been told there is no 8th. There is no 8th. There is no 8th. Like, the book has told you, the diviner told you, like, there is no 8th.
So one reasonable interpretation of that would be that we need to figure out how to make an 8th.
I
right?
think that would be a reasonable interpretation of that. Yes.
For someone who has perhaps a keen or a sharp mind of some sort.
Indeed. Who has maybe lived through this in 2 separate lifetimes. I think it's possible that that would be something that you may consider.
There is something else that has been a bit of an issue. This book, it mentions that there should be, or there isn't, but there could be an 8th seal. Unfortunately, I'm not entirely sure if that means that it was failed to be located, or if it needs to be created or not, but that may be perhaps the final goal in all of this.
Lady Savannah kind of leans forward, pensive look on her face, and she's like, well, I am thinking that maybe we can do some research, look for the composition of seals, or I don't know if you are having more specific information about who was involved, or I mean, I guess the map is helpful.
It was informed that my father was important in the first time that this was accomplished. So if any of our elders who are around, perhaps they may be able to shed more information on this.
As I am saying, it is unfortunate that he is not being here. But yes, so some interpersonal intel, some research, and then we plan. What is the timeline on this, the scoop?
According to the information we have, events are moving much faster than anticipated, so it would be important for us to move quickly but carefully. I'm afraid I don't know if that means we have months or weeks or years.
It is out of respect for your position as heir Lauren that I have not asked this before, but maybe you can be a little bit more specific. Your source, your information, you are being, I am thinking, purposely vague.
He hesitates for a moment.
Cullen tries to fill the pause for him. We have met one other person who was there when this has been done before.
From 500 years ago.
What I'm going to tell you all does not leave this room. Does everyone understand?
The scribe nods at you. Like, immediately, the scribe is like, yes, I completely understand. I will die before I say anything. The High Marshal, like, does a human-style oath. It's very different from kind of, like, what you're used to in Elven society, but, like, he, as a paladin, he's very, like, about this kind of thing, and offers you an oath of secrecy. Lady Savannah just kind of assents. She's like, of course, I am honored for being within the trust of the heir Alar.
And does Pyrea still appear too confused to tell anyone else, even if she wanted to, or?
Oh, no, I'm not going to say anything, of course. Like, I'll be completely quiet. I'm not, like, I mean, it is okay if I talk to Kellen, or it's not okay if I talk to Kellen. Like, if we're not in this room, I mean, because you said it wouldn't leave this room, and, like, if we were somewhere else, but no one else was there for sure.
I speak with Kellen if it is safe.
Okay, thanks. Should I be calling you Heir Alarin or whatever, or, like, because we were introduced as our, you know, honestly, it probably doesn't matter. I'm just going to be quiet over here for a sec.
So do I know if this room could be scryed on? Like, just warded, or?
You are aware that though it has never functioned as a war council, it was, or at least in your lifetime, it's never functioned as a war council. It could be well guarded. You imagine that you probably need to do something in order to activate it.
Unfortunately, I was not around back when this room was needed for its original purpose. Do either of you know how to activate the protections this room provides?
Oh, but of course. And Lady Savannah takes out a little wand and she kind of like sings this song under her breath. It's a very flowy kind of song. It's not like you can't pick out words, but somehow you still are getting kind of this mental image in your brain. As she is kind of loops the wand around the kind of tracing the pattern of the ceiling. And as in your mind you get the idea of like fortresses and battlements and castles, you see a shimmering light that covers the roof and then kind of slides down the walls before gathering. So every single surface, like the floor, the ceilings, and all of the walls, including the door, have this kind of sheen to it before she stops humming.
Thank you. How familiar are you all with mages who study the flow of time?
I am not knowing any time mages. That's a thing, I guess. I don't know. I don't know anyone who does time stuff. I mean, I guess technically all magic's a little bit time stuff, right? Because you're doing it and like the effect is happening at such a rapid pace. There's got to be some time stuff somewhere in there. But no, I know nothing of time magic.
So,
I mean, plant growth, I guess, is also a time magic, right? Because like it's accelerating the process of time.
Sure. And he will adjust your tickle in. This much is your area, unfortunately, so please feel free to intervene if there's some information you wish to be left unspoken.
Perhaps a demonstration might help.
Of course.
Would anyone like to experience the effect of a new spell, or should I cast it upon myself?
So Lady Savannah kind of like sits back in her chair a little bit and looks intrigued. And Lord High Marshal Thamus is like, yeah, I'll give it a go. I'm not known for being too concerned. Let's get for it.
You're not in any danger. And then Kellen will go to him and slowly cast the Gift of Alacrity.
Oh, is that supposed to? And then he sees the four. How did we go? It's not after image, the before image, the trail that happens before he's moving.
Yeah.
And it's just
so
like
it's like a 300 to 500 milliseconds like preceding image of just like wherever you're about to move to.
How? But so does that mean all of my movements are predestined? I'm having a little bit of trouble. Like, could I move my hand the other? But like, even as he like changes position, it's like that before image is perfectly mapped to where his hands go.
You are not being shown this to debate the finite arcane or philosophical effects of manipulation of time. Just because there have been an individual that has returned from the future to warn us that ultimately we failed the first time, or first many times. Unfortunately, I don't know how many times these events have occurred. And in an attempt to increase our odds, However, it appears that the events are not occurring like they had before. This person has let us know that events that have occurred now were not meant to occur for quite some time. It's the fall of the Academy for one. The seals for others. So unfortunately, let's say that we do not have a good track record with defacing this enemy. However, we are attempting to change that this time. You may ask your questions now.
To answer the first one, no, they're not predestined. Things can change if you change.
Okay, so what does it do? Like, it just shows you where you will be? Can you extend it like a range so you know where you... Or can you do it for enemies so you know where they will be? So you can be in position? The whole time he's just kind of like moving his hands back and forth, like watching this, trying to figure it out.
That particular spell will sort of enhance your own physical movement so that you can be prepared in an instinctual sense before your body might even recognize that it has done so.
So it's like an enhanceability.
Sure.
Okay, that does make me feel slightly better about what's going on. So, just to clarify, you did say there's a time traveler from the future who failed, who came back?
Yeah.
And Lady Savannah looks at Kellen and says, so when did you arrive?
It's me or the other one?
Oh. This is not what I am thinking is happening. See, I am thinking you are the one who is coming back. There are two?
I am, but not this me, the other me.
Oh. About this time, you feel that Pyrie is looking at you rather intensely?
You know, at the expense of potentially losing some relationship points, he's actually not trying to deal with that right now. So he's just looking at Ardris, feeling the looks, but waiting to deal with it until later.
Yes, it is a different version of him that has returned, and in their time, they obtained this information later, and we attempted to deal with this only to fail. Apparently, they had managed to succeed in stopping these 7, but there was an 8th, or there should have been an 8th, and for reasons that were not shared with us, I, or rather my future self, felt that the best course of action was to send Cullen back in an attempt to undo or to correct our mistake.
I actually have a... Ooh, that's interesting. Okay. I/Kellen am developing a theory right now.
I love it when player character synergy happens. Are we talking about this theory, or are we mulling it over?
He's going to bring it up with Ardris first later because it's just a theory. It doesn't really mean anything until they figure out how to apply it. But I'll make a note to talk to Ardris about it later.
All right. Thamus and Savannah both look at you and are like, okay. Thamus speaks up and is like, you've given me a lot to consider. Don't get me wrong, I'm a good paladin, but like the whole arcane thing is mostly beyond my ken. So I'm just going to take on faith a lot of what you're talking about. Haha. And what I can do for you is I can work on the kind of political, interpersonal kind of stuff to make sure that if you need to get places, we can get you there. Does that sound like something that's useful?
Of course, we all have our roles to play in this. The only thing I ask of you all is that you give it your best shot. For now, the students from the academy need to be tended to. Injuries need to be treated. A lot of us need to find a safe place to rest and to get cleaned up. Hopefully my father will be back within the next day or two, and we will be able to determine what our next course of action will be.
You see a look of utter disbelief on Thamus's face when you say your father's gonna be back in a day or two, but he doesn't say anything about it. Lady Zavana turns to you and is like, well, I am good at the magics. I can do some research, look into the seals. Perhaps you are wanting I am taking the book for further studies.
If you don't mind, Miss.
Lady Savannah.
Lady Sylvana.
She is several centuries older than you are, and you called her Miss. You don't need a 22 insight to know that that was a wrong move.
Yeah, he's stumbling a bit. It's fine. I have. Do you mind if I have your scribe copy something, Argis? And he will pull out the rubbing that he made of one of the rune things.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So he wants that copied so he can retain his copy, but give one to Lady Sylvanas for her to look at.
Awesome. It is a quick thing to get the basics of this copied over. The scribe does provide a copy of what has been said to you, Ardris, and also a separate copy to Lady Savannah, with the rubbing that she just copied over as well.
That
expertise is respected, Lady Sylvana. I believe it would be best for me to continue to hold on to the book, at least until my father comes back. I wish to see if there's any other information I may have missed.
Well, you maybe are not knowing where to find me, but other people will. Perhaps we are having, I don't know, lunch tomorrow?
Of course.
Splendid. And she takes her leave. It is currently the three of you in that room.
The marshal leaves with her?
Yeah.
Okay. Because he doesn't have a reason next to distrust Pyrea, even though the player in me is like, no, absolutely no chances, make her leave and then do this. He goes over to Ardris and says, I can't. He kind of like more at like a whisper tone. He's like, I can't stop you from giving that to your father if he wants it, but it was yours the first time, and that hasn't changed. So I think you should keep it under all circumstances, no matter what happens.
As if you may be right. There's a lot of things I don't understand, or my future self's motivations, but there must have been a reason that my father did not have it in the first place.
We should probably rejoin the others, but I wanted to talk to you about a theory along the way.
I can show you what the others are. I would absolutely love to feel useful after all of that, and also we do need to talk at some point, but I respect the fact that you've kind of got some stuff going on right now. Also, you both kind of looked really crappy earlier. You're looking better now. That's good. Good.
Yes, we will definitely talk. We should see if we can find some time to spend together later, just the two of us.
Yeah, I would like that.
So this happened 500 years ago, right, Ardris?
Are you walking and talking, or are you staying in this room?
Staying in this room for now.
Okay.
Yes, roughly 500 years ago.
And when they went to do it again, they discovered that there weren't enough seals, potentially.
Yes, according to what was in the book, once they completed the 7th, it wasn't enough. So there's either an 8th one not noted here, or they needed to create one.
What if it's a growing problem that we're never really solving, we're just keeping at bay? Maybe this has happened 7 times, and every time they've needed to build a new seal as the knowledge slowly got lost further and further away from our own reach.
I fear that could very well be possible. But I am concerned if that is the case, the price for creating these seals will be astronomical.
Right?
We need to find out what exactly is being sealed away.
Yeah.
While we are here in the city, I will show you all a certain amount of trust by allowing you to, in very limited situations, act with the weight of my house's name, title. It does not give you the authority to do as you please, but it will allow for you to visit the archives and stay comfortable.
We will respect your house, Ardris. And then he pauses for a second. I like Otis, but I would watch giving him that authority at the moment. I think you guys should probably talk eventually.
We'll see. For now, let's return to the others and see if any other information has come through.
Yeah.
So, you guys are walking. Speaking of Otis, we bounce back to where everyone is. It's super comfortable. They've got like pillows and rugs and stuff all surrounding like these beautiful rock braziers, and like people are just kind of surrounding you, wanting to hear stories. Miri's not too far away. Miri, give me a snippet of the story you're telling right now.
Okay, so we were in this forest, and then we saw this like really big tree. Well, first of all, Kellen was the one that kicked it because he was angry or something, and then it like moved, and there were like these creepy little bodies that came off of it, and they were really gross. And it was like, wow.
No way, man. The bodies were like, ah, that's wild.
Yeah.
Sound like Narcus.
Straight up, Narcus is hanging on every word you're saying. Otis, you're not too far away from where Miri is doing that. Drogon and Elliot have moved a little bit further away because they are talking to Creature and... Actually, make me a quick perception check.
On it. Oh boy. Of course you don't want to. Okay. Oh wow. Oh wow. I rolled a natural 20 and I also got a 4 on my D4, and that is +8. So
I mean, I will tell you anything you want to know with a 32.
hey, give me the whole layout of the room, then.
Well, I'll tell you, you don't see Bim, so like you're kind of looking for where are the adult figures, you know, the trusted figures. You don't see Bim.
Okay.
And I would say you're a high wisdom person. You're probably thinking, okay, there's another group of students that are coming. They obviously would have probably split the adults amongst them as well. So Drogon, Elliot, and Creature or Vilheim are here, and then Bim and you don't know who else is probably with the other group.
No Saskia?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I can give you a full list of people you don't see. You do not see Saskia. You do not see Martin. You do not see Maximilian. You do not see Zima. You do not see Tiffany.
What about Bettany?
You do not see Bettany.
Oh no. Not Vivian Crocker. We need Vivian.
Did we lose our girl?
We don't know nothing yet.
Oh no.
Would Otis, since there are there more knights stationed around the group of students?
You know, there are not a lot in this area. There's like two kind of milling about. They don't seem to be like, they're not standing guard or something like that. They're just kind of being present and useful if something like you guys came through a teleportation circle that Ardris would know is changed weekly, like minor changes, so that not just anyone can pop in. And, you know, 6 people just popped in. So like, there's kind of just like this general kind of, like we're around just in case someone needs us kind of thing.
Ooh, this is a big one. Would Otis be able to tell if there is anyone from his home continent who perhaps recognizes him outside of being a student?
Ooh, interesting. So you're looking around at kind of the faces. Most everyone here is like rapt attention towards Miri and her story. Michael, where are you in the room? Are you listening to the stories and everything? Is Micah here?
Oh, yes, I'm here. I don't think so. I think they will be walking around the location.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As you're walking, you see Nossel, the little gnome, who is like Narcus is hanging on Miri's every word because he's really interested in the story. Nossel is hanging on Miri's every word because like Miri is his new hero.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants to be exactly like her. And it's just like he's doing like this really awkward teen thing where he's trying not to be too impressed, but he's still pretty young, so like he can't really hide just like how excited he is for it. And so like he's leaning in. You'll probably see him as you go past. To answer your question, Otis, there is a half-orc named Wallace Mogg.
Ooh, wait, Wallace? Like literally traditional spelling of Wallace?
Yeah, and then
Okay.
M-O-G. It's all one word, Wallace Mogg. I mean, there's two things you notice with your 32 freaking perception. One thing is he definitely is looking more in your direction than Miri's. It doesn't look friendly, and you probably realize why when you look at his clothing, which
Ooh.
has kind of this blue pattern to it, and a little emblem of the Tideskeepers, which you would remember is Honinko's party.
That was going to be the next thing.
Yeah. So he's a half orc. You don't know how much of the attention like on you. You don't know what is drawing his attention to you, but something is drawing his attention to you.
Otis would probably be wary, and he would probably be trying to hang closer to Drogon and Elliot, and try to make himself a little more scarce if possible. He's also not used to getting the level of attention that he may be getting.
Yeah, they're a little ways away. Like, and if you stand up and go walk over to where they are, everyone's gonna watch you walk. So, kind of up to you. Or just you don't know.
Can Otis make a stealth check to see if he can do it as stealthily as possible?
Okay, here's what I say. You can. It is unlikely
I'll do it at
to work.
disadvantage.
It is unlikely to work considering you are just like sitting in the middle of a group that are like basking in your presence. And when you stand up and walk through this well-lit room, across like an empty space towards the only authority figures, kind of like for the like each one of those things would be eye-catching. So I will let you roll it. I'm gonna say that like you are gonna have to roll a natural 20. Well, actually, what's your plus?
What is his on stealth? What is he, +1? Yeah. He's just +1 on stealth.
I will say if you roll a natural 20, I'll talk to you.
I'll go for a miracle.
I mean, in 5% chance.
Oh, I literally rolled a 19.
Oh, that sucks, buddy.
It
That's
is
rough.
what it is. It is what it is. I'm not upset at all.
So you stand up, and everyone watches you stand, and you start to walk, and everyone watches you walk. Like, people are still listening to Miri, but I think even Miri's watching you do this. As you just kind of like,
Of course she is.
you know, you just kind of walk across the empty hall where everyone else is gathered in one place, so you're like the only person there, and you walk up to where, like, are you going directly to?
You'd be going directly to them.
Okay, so you walk up to where Drogon and Elliot are currently talking to Vilheim. And as you do, their conversation kind of naturally stops as Vilheim looks at you and is like, "Oh, hello, Mr. Sorry, I don't think I know your name."
That's fine. And Otis is just gonna look over to Elliot and Drogon. Hey, my boy is not an etiquette master at all.
Otis,
I need to talk to you both.
you should at least talk. I mean, this is the vice chancellor. You should at least be a little bit. I mean, while Rosani's away, you know, he's kind of the one making sure everyone's all right. You could.
You want to hear about my problems?
To whom are you speaking when you say this?
To the vice chancellor.
I am always interested in the welfare of my students.
What that's supposed to mean to me?
Please, tell me your problems.
Whatever, not here.
Well, I can tell that Otis, was it? Wanted a word, so I can give you some space. And Vilheim kind of takes a few steps away and then kind of goes down the hall a little bit so that you and Drogon and Elliot are left. Now, Otis, that wasn't the most polite you've ever been. And that's saying something, considering kind of the zone of politeness that I've seen you in. What's going on?
And then Otis is going to, I'll just, I'll do general escape for you, where Otis basically describes how he ended up in the part of the continent that he is familiar with, where they ended up, and how he saw a member of his house, of his tribe, and how he, in his mind, avoided detection, and how someone else is giving him a look, and he doesn't know if it's related, but it could be related for a number of reasons.
Well, that's a lot to be weighing on your mind, for sure.
Oh, there's more.
Well, by all means, go on.
And then Otis proceeds to talk about his experience with Ardris in the hotel. So,
Well, I'm mighty sorry to hear that, Otis. It's unfortunate. Have you talked to him any about it?
no.
Listen, there are some people that are quite a bit different than other people. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there are people who get a lot when they're starting out on life, and there are people that got to figure it out on the way, kind of thing. And sometimes, because we all got kind of this different perspective, it can be awful difficult to reconcile those experiences.
It'd be one thing if he didn't know what I was going through, but he does.
And Otis is referencing the time where he told his story to Micah and Ardris was in the room reading the book.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess you got a serious question to ask yourself. If you don't feel safe around him, maybe you got to find yourself another party to hang out with.
Yeah, this is going to weigh heavily on Otis's mind.
And Drogon comes over and puts both hands on your shoulders and kind of makes sure that you're looking him in the eye. Either way, it doesn't matter what party you're part of. You're always part of us.
Otis looks truly heartfelt, like he actually might be tearing up just a tad.
Bro,
If Drogon's insight was high.
Drogon could see it if he could see it through his own tears, man. They have an emotional day, man. You showed up out of nowhere. They've been fretting and worrying about you, and then you're just like, and here's all the terrible stuff that happened to me while I was gone. And he's just like, you have a real high passive insight, don't you? Like
18. Yeah.
Yeah. For a brief moment, you would see that a little bit of guilt in his eyes as he's kind of like comforting you.
What's the problem?
What do you mean?
Why you look like something's bothering you?
I'm just happy to have you back.
Well, I'm happy to be back wherever this is.
Yeah, this real fancy place. I don't think I've ever been in a place like this before. I didn't know ceilings came this tall, honestly. It's a lot of things that I worry about breaking. So I kind of, move a little carefully.
Well, you know me. Before the academy, it was either a shack or I was over the sky.
I hear that.
And then Otis is just gonna go, by the way, he's gonna pull out his his tree that he was babysitting.
Can you take care of this for me? I don't know if I'm gonna leave again or not.
You had better not leave.
Otis just shrugs and he'd be like,
No, I just got your back. We just had this whole. I had actual tears in my eyes, Otis. We had this whole moment. You're not leaving. At least not without us. But I will. Oh, I like this tree. Is it silvery? Also, what's this pot?
Somebody gave me this pot or whatever to keep the tree in.
Otis is purposefully withholding information. So if that's an insight check.
Well, maybe
Drogon.
the elves will like me more if I got something green in my hands. All right, I'll figure out something for this. Hey, you're not going anywhere without a talk. You understand?
Okay, whatever. And by the way, that tree's very chatty. Make sure you give it some big soil.
All right.
And give it the nice water. I don't know what they give us to drink around here.
Are you hungry? We got food.
Well, you said they had food around.
Yeah, they got food, but you also have Elliot's cooking around somewhere.
Well, Otis is never going to say no to that.
All right. Well, they kind of hustle you back into there's a little area, and Elliot's got like a picnic kind of setup going on.
Well, Otis would actually want to invite Micah, but Micah's not around, so.
You could catch Micah's eye across the room.
Hey, Micah.
Oh, so Micah was actually walking around looking for someone.
Who are you looking for?
Micah's looking for the closest person that's part of the elvish group that kind of gives the essence of a wizard or a mage practitioner of some form.
So you're looking for an elf?
Well, specifically from Ardris's kingdom, that looks to be
the area you're in doesn't have a lot of like mages or anything going on because you kind of turn down that hallway for like where they've got a bunch of refugees basically set up right now. But if you want to wander back into the main hall, it's gonna be a little bit of a walk, but you could.
Yeah, they would definitely do so.
Cool. Nothing historically bad has ever happened from Micah taking a walk by himself. All right. Yeah, so they take off. They're heading for a walk back down towards like the main branch. I think you would pass one of those realm knights. You would also pass relatively close to where Vilheim is now sitting, kind of like watching what's going on. He seems to be interested in like a book he's reading. He's just kind of like hanging out to make sure that if anyone needs anything that he's available without intruding too much on kind of like everyone's reunion time. So did you need to stop by any of those people or are you going to keep going?
We just to provide, they definitely look like mage practitioners of some type, correct?
They look more martial.
Oh, they will keep going.
Okay, so you keep walking, you get a little bit out of like Vilheim's kind of area when he calls out and he's like, Micah.
Yes?
Where are you going?
I need to find someone who can do magic here.
I mean, I can do magic here. How can I help you?
Can you teleport?
Like what? Like, are you talking about teleporting something to somewhere else or moving from one place to another?
Move a person from one place to another.
Do you have a teleportation circle in mind?
No, I don't think so.
Well then, where are we going?
I think I need to restore balance.
Could you be more specific?
Well, I realized when I was with the others that I would bring danger to others if I stay here. So I want to find someone who could teleport me back to Vermont. I am Iwan.
You are Iwan. Now, here's the thing. Normally, I would argue that none of my students should go on their own. But if you are Iwan, that is where you belong, isn't it?
If I stay, everyone will get hurt. I don't want others to get hurt.
I mean, there are a lot of very talented people here. It would be okay if you stayed. Your mother would... She would have been so heartbroken if something happened to you.
They pause for a second, kind of looking down towards the ground. You can see definitely a hint of sadness across their face when they take this realization. But then they look up and it says, but it's not fair for everyone. If I'm not worth everyone to get hurt, so I should go.
Won't your friends be so sad? I think you would be disappointing a lot of people if you just left.
I can say goodbye.
If you really want to go, though, I could probably take you.
I should say goodbye, though. You're right.
It's so hard. They'll be crying. They won't want to let you go. They might try to stop you, honestly, but they are your friends. I'm sure they'll let you choose what's best for you. And since your mother is gone, and if you are, I would. I tell you what, let me show you something. Come with me. And Wilhelm leads you back kind of towards the main hall, and you're heading off somewhere.
Okay.
Mary, give me another snippet of the story you're telling.
I gotta come. Hold on. Okay.
That was all
You know, I just feel no pity because this is what I do the whole time. So it's like, oh, I didn't want to go talk to Wilhelm and tell him that I wanted to go back to Vimbana. Okay, let me figure that one out.
Oh god, okay. Oh.
Where's the story, man?
Okay, so she's like, okay, so we went to this like tavern. I don't even remember what it was called, but I wanted to perform, and I called myself the Vorpaloot.
Oh, a gasp goes up.
It was probably the best performance of my life.
You hear a bunch of people start whispering the Vorpaloot. You should play for us. Yeah, you should play for us.
Oh, I could.
This crowd is going crazy for you to play for them.
All right, Mary, we'll play.
Okay, roll me a performance check real quick.
Okay.
Make it an advantage because you have a spellbound cast that would like. This audience would love you if you played Old MacDonald Had a Farm. And, like, you're gonna do better than that. So like, roll an advantage.
Okay. Can I use enthralling performance just for fun on this?
Yes, absolutely, you can. 1000%.
Okay. Let's roll the what is it? E plus 24.
Oof.
Ooh. Yeah. So, tell me which instrument you're using, etc., etc. Paint me a little bit of a word picture here.
All right. So she probably would have taken out. Let's see. Her lute. She likes her lute the most.
You are the Vorpaloot. The Vorpaloot.
Yes. And so she'll probably play the same song that she did at the tavern.
Oh yeah.
Single boy.
And
okay,
she's got. Oh no, she doesn't. Never mind. She'll do prestidigitation for little sparks or something. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so you're playing, and this entire hall is just hanging on it. And it's about this time that the rest of you are kind of getting back, Ardris and Kellen and Pyrea. And as you get in, I would like you two to go ahead and make that spell save. Do you see?
Wisdom save.
Everyone else failed it. I'm not going to bother rolling it, but you two, I will give you a chance.
Is this a charmed effect?
I believe it is actually.
I actually think it might be. Let's see. Yeah, it's spell save or be charmed.
Yeah. Fey ancestry.
About time.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What's
The number of times I've said no.
The DC is a 16.
What's the roll? Is it wisdom?
Yes.
Nice. I got a 16.
Very good.
17.
Ooh, lucky.
Nice.
For funsies, I'll roll one for
Whoa. What is this luck word? Okay. Skilled, devout practitioner of magic and the face-changing arts. Okay.
Those are words. Pyrea is immediately hooked. And just like she goes and she sits down next to kind of the group and is just like watching you. Ardris, Otis, also go ahead and make that save.
Okay, you got it.
I mean, you're very wismatic, so I think you'll be fine. But
Famous last words.
Oh no.
you know,
Oh,
I jinxed because I care.
Is this a wisdom save or just wisdom?
Wisdom save.
Save.
Okay. Yeah, that's 26.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. So only our PCs basically are immune to the charm effect, but I will remind you, it is still a 24 for you guys, and is a very interesting thing. So you come in and you see everyone here, even like the Realm Knights, are kind of like tapping their feet a little bit to it, like just kind of interested in what's going on. Drogon and Elliot seem absolutely captivated. They think that this is awesome. And as you guys walk in, you can see like, you see that it's approximately half the students that you would expect to be there. And you currently see Drogon and Elliot as the only kind of adults in the room right now.
Mm.
Is that she's enjoying herself? Let's find the others so I can find you all someplace to get comfortable.
As Miri's thing kind of slows down, they are charmed by you for an hour, unless you want to drop it. They idolize you and will speak happily about you to anyone. They will hinder anyone who tries to oppose you, which I think is great wording. And so for an hour, basically, you've got a gaggle of students and also 2 adults who are very willing, more than 2 adults, because the Realm Knights, they're following your lead, whatever you lead.
Oh, this is terrifying.
All right. So, do we need to break in anywhere? Yeah. That's the question.
No.
Miri's like, I decided to choose violence today. What's up? Let's go.
No one can stop us. Let's go.
Miri, are you finished?
Yes.
One more.
One
more.
more.
Encore.
Oh, yeah. Well, Nazareth is immune to being charmed, but she likes it. She likes it.
Nazareth has just been like circling Miri and just being like, Luminari.
Like a little disco ball going
Yeah.
There will be time for you to continue to enjoy yourself. For now, where are the others? I would like to find you all a place to rest or to sleep.
We see Yvain.
Steep, yeah. Yvain?
Do we see Yvain?
Right.
Yeah, Yvain is also enthralled by the performance.
Oof.
And has been taking lots of notes about every single individual that she sees. You look over, over her shoulder for just a minute. You can see there's fairly good little sketches of kind of like the architecture in the room, and like very quick, like kind of shapes of people, like kind of showing the variety that are kind of here.
That's fine. And to be clear, if I correctly understand the events that have transpired, as I look around the room for the rest of my party, I do not currently see Micah, correct?
You do,
Yeah,
you
no.
do not currently see Micah. You do, however, hear Pyrea that's like, so are we going to talk now, or?
I guess that spell broke real
I
quick.
think I've been like really patient. No, Miri, if you want to play some more, like, I'll absolutely sit down and listen. Like, you were awesome.
No, did Callan do something to you?
Right.
No. It's just.
Do I
like,
need to punch him?
No. Do I need to punch him?
Do you?
I don't think so. I generally am not into punch-based relationships. No. Is this like a? Did he do something to you? Like, are you angry at him?
Is that not
Well, not anymore.
Not
Oh
anymore.
my god, can we stop girl code for like 5 seconds? Listen. Okay. I know that we do need to talk. Here's the problem. Where's the kid?
He was.
He ain't been in the room for
right
a while
here.
now.
I thought he was listening to me.
No, he left ages ago.
What?
What do you mean he left?
Otis, I don't know that you actually saw him leave.
Oh, he didn't. Not with that 20%.
But
And it's not
Miri,
passive.
There was kind of a bunch of stuff going on at the same time. Like, you were having the heartfelt thing with Drogon. Y'all moved into the alcove so you could eat the food. Miri was doing the performance.
Okay,
like,
so he wouldn't have seen
But-
it. Okay.
but did Neri, while she was entertaining everybody?
Would she?
I will let you do a retroactive perception check with disadvantage.
Alrighty.
That is fair. And your veins notice is always in a book, so they definitely didn't notice.
Yeah, until Yvain's player comes back, Yvain doesn't notice anything.
18, even with this disadvantage.
Nice.
Oh, very nice. You kind of vaguely remember seeing out of the corner of your eye that they headed away from the group. I don't think that you saw them talking to Wilhelm. You just kind of you noticed that they were heading down towards kind of where the rest of the building is.
I may have seen them briefly heading the other way, but I probably should have stopped them.
He's doing what he
Fine.
wants. They were doing what they want.
It's
Otis is
fine.
just completely unperturbed.
We'll grab one of a pair of knights that are just kind of not doing anything at the moment. The two of you, come with me. We have to go and find one of the students. You all come with me as well, so we can take care of this all at once.
Do what I want.
You grab the two realm knights, and as you were walking towards like this large opening that goes to the main thing, you see at the end Wilhelm and Micah walking back towards you. I'm going to ask real briefly if Mike and I can have a little chat.
Ooh.
You're making me take the headphones off
I'm
again.
making you take the headphones off again. This is what you get for a mid-season finale or whatever.
Yep.
I told you.
You know,
Secrets. It's not cool.
I'll forgive you next time I get a headphones off moment.
All right. Hopefully it's just me and you, Micah.
All right.
Micah, when Wilhelm took you off, he gave you a little tour of some areas that, because of his kind of status as the vice chancellor, like no one stopped him from wandering around. And he took you through to a relative close by section of a research library, and kind of walked you through some of the things, and it was asking you kind of about like, what specifically is it that you are looking to fix or to find out? So he spent a lot of time trying to get some information from you, and also kind of showing you that like he has resources and means in order to help you. What I'd like you to do is make me a charisma saving throw, and that's just kind of how we're going to decide how does it shake out. in terms of what information you willingly give or how much information he gets from you.
All right, no worries. 1 second. Boop, boop. Okay, well, that would just be a flat 10 on the die. So that is... Oh, +7, though. Well, yeah, it makes sense. I'm Christmas, so that's 17.
Yeah. So you tell me, how much are you willing to share? He doesn't get anything you're unwilling to share, but he is being, like, very attentive. He's an adult who's taking your complaints seriously.
Yeah, they will share what they have knowledge about in terms of they believe that they are Iowan and they were looked after by someone named Haniko, but for some reason the family wants them for some reason and they don't know why. Because I don't think it was ever informed that they were indicated that Iowan was a heretic because they were not around when that was explained. So they saw just them being escorted by guards, which looked kind of bad, but it was displayed that they want to try to create peace. So therefore there is no more fighting and no one's in danger.
Peace is such a noble goal. I applaud you. You're so young to be worrying about peace.
When I saw everyone together, that's when I knew it wasn't right.
And what happened to this? What did you say her name was? Honinko?
I don't know. She was in the room when things exploded. I tried talking to her, but no response.
Well, I'm certain we can get this sorted out. Again, my full power is at your disposal. I take it very seriously as your Chancellor's honest child to look after your well-being, and I would like to reunite you with your family. I think that's a very noble goal indeed. Let's go back and give your goodbyes to your friends.
Okay. Thank you.
No, thank you. And he leads you back. And that's where we're going to pick up where you're meeting them. We're meeting you.
Okay.
See if we can get these people coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Back.
Let's go.
Back?
Yep, we're back.
Now we just need Kellen and... Kellen, you back?
Here we go. You're muted.
All right.
Oh, no,
Excellent.
okay.
Yeah, so as you guys are leaving to go look for Micah, Wilhelm and Micah come back. You can see them walking towards you.
When they see them approach, they kind of like look sad for a second, look down to the ground, and then they look back up when they see everyone. At least, go ahead.
Wilhelm very quickly like rests his hand on their shoulder and is just like, I'm sure it will be okay. They want what is best for you. We all do. And then just kind of ushers you forward to join them.
Yeah.
Do you have a question really quickly?
What's up, Argus? And
so
or
Mike is a
Ree?
kid. So Mike is a kid, but as Argus, do I know if this guy has permission to just like wander around Hall of Pages like that?
As the Vice Chancellor / Acting Chancellor of Rivenwood, he is afforded quite a bit of status because specifically you went to Rivenwood. Like, you gave them a lot of legitimacy by going yourself as Era Lauren. So he is afforded quite a bit of status. They didn't go very far, you would guess, based on the fact that they've come back so quickly. And just kind of mental mapping where they could have gone. There's a couple of small like study areas, a couple of like like little enclaves and stuff for various groups of concerned, citizens or like working groups that work on something specific. Nothing like kind of in the immediate walking vicinity that you'd be like, oh, they wouldn't have let him go there.
Right. Well, well, welcome back, I suppose. Everything all right?
Hi. Yes. So I was thinking. I think it's best if I go back to Verbana.
Micah,
Otis
what?
goes, okay, when do we leave?
For what purpose?
Make peace when I'm here or anywhere. I will bring danger to everyone because of who I am, and it's not fair for everyone to hurt because of me. So I need to create balance.
Kid, are you seeing strings too?
That was a very strange request. Where did it come from?
Request?
Yes. Where is this coming from? If I recall, a few moments ago, at least when I last spoke with you, you were searching for your mother. Now you wish to leave. Have you found her? Is she here?
No, I don't know. It came when I saw the students. When I saw them there, I realized even if I go back to school, they will just try to hurt the school if I don't create peace. So
I'm sorry. Who exactly are you concerned will cause trouble for the school?
the kingdom.
Well, I can assure you that won't be a problem for anyone, so there's no need for you to worry about it.
Why?
The Empire, Grogan Empire, correct? That's who you are concerned about?
Verbana.
Well, it doesn't matter. Everyone will be safe here, I can assure you.
I don't want to risk everyone for me. It feels wrong.
If you wish to keep everyone safe, then it is wiser for you to stay here, where there are plenty of people to protect you. If you leave, then people would want to save you, which will make everyone else be in much more danger than they needed to be. I can assure you your friends here would do everything in their power to protect you, which would then be putting them in more danger if you leave, because then they'd have to leave as well, which means they'd be weaker. So you would be wiser to simply stay here, where everyone can protect you.
Hey, Otis.
Yes, Aaron.
When Ardra said, oh, so you're looking for your mother, have you found her? Is she here?
Oh boy.
Mm.
How?
You notice Wilhelm for just a split second
Oh,
has a
okay.
frown on his face. For just a split second. And then it's
Otis will make note of that.
If I could just make a suggestion, it doesn't have to be chosen right this moment. You've only just arrived. You look quite tired. How about we all sleep on it? We can discuss it in the morning. We'll find out what's best for Micah. Oh, sorry, Iwan.
Mary is going to try and back Micah up just a bit.
Audrey will give the vice chancellor, you know that smile that's like political only, like it's not an actual smile, it's more of a threat. He goes,
Yes.
with all due respect to your position, we are no longer at the academy, and I will ensure that each of the students receives the utmost care and attention, and I will consult with my father once he returns, and the rest of the great and wonderful people here, and we will determine what is best for everyone going forward. The task that were up to you has already proven that it was a bit beyond you to hand over too many people at once.
He gives you a very flat look for a moment, and gives a little grin. Is like, well, with all due respect, Audrey, I take the safety of my pupils very seriously. And you must understand, in the absence of the Chancellor, I'm acting Chancellor. Rivenwood Academy is not a building, it is the students, and I have a duty to all who have come to our school to keep them safe and calm.
I would not dream of preventing you. So
But I'm more than happy to speak with Lord
advise the
Villar.
students. Of course. I'm sure my father would greatly like to speak with you. I'm sure there would be quite a few questions about the nature of the transportation that managed to fail so spectacularly.
No, Argis, though.
You.
The Vice Chancellor does bring up a very good point. While he is acting counselor of Rivenwood Academy, his safety is paramount. Perhaps 2 of your guards should accompany him at all times.
So I believe that would do quite well. And then he will gesture to the 2 knights that he had brought with him. Please ensure that the counselor is well taken care of and that he does not leave your sight.
Wilhelm gives you a small little bow and says, "How honored I am to have the heir Alarin care for my safety. I will see you all at breakfast, perhaps. I know you must be quite tired."
Of course, please, I believe your students would greatly benefit from the morale boost of seeing that you are safe and with them in such a trying time.
Indeed. Let's all go get settled in. And so he is going to try and bring the group back to where the main group is and start sorting out kind of sleeping arrangements and whatever kind of dinner you might have. It is pretty late here. The nature of teleportation magic is time zone changes. So it is it is darker here than it was when you left. I guess the sun rises in the west now, because that's the thing that happened. So it is darker here than when you left. It is time to go to bed, honestly. It is. And you can see people are kind of like doing the thing where they're trying not to be tired, but they yawn a little bit.
Good thing we shoved an 18-hour day into the span of like 4 or 5 hours.
Right.
Ardris will bring the group back to his personal his personal home. And while he's traveling and guiding them, he will look for like a diviner or something or the equivalent, and instruct them to make sure there's someone who is keeping an eye on the vice chancellor, just in case. It would be very bad for morale if he were to fall ill of some sort.
Sure. You have like a retainer of your house that handles kind of the interfacing with the necessary parties to get stuff done kind of thing. So you talk to them and it's a thing that you are confident is being handled. So you all go back to Ardris's very nice home. This is not his family's like proper home, but this is their home in the capital. So it is well furnished and well appointed, because this is kind of like the outward facing home for these people. Your mother is not there.
And well, you all are free to make yourself comfortable. I'm sure my mother will be around soon enough. You all are welcome to take a room together or separately as you see fit. You should be able to wash and clean yourselves, or have some food brought to you if you need it.
You do see there's
needs.
Sorry, I apologize. You do see there's quite a few different like staff milling about that look eager to help. So if you need something, you can mention it and it will happen.
Of course. Well, if you all need anything at all, please do not hesitate to request it. I will have someone bring you all a fresh change of clothes later in the evening.
Okay.
We are wrapping this up, so let's get first some sleeping arrangements. Is everyone taking their own room? Anyone doubling up? You all gonna have a sleepover in the, I don't know, the living room? What's going on?
So Micah, they're going to, well, they don't sleep. Well, what they're going to try to do is see if they can. Oh, what was it? Like the flashback memory of sorts, I think that they could get.
Yeah, if you are making an ability check, you can use a flash of memory.
Oh,
to add to it.
Gotcha. Never mind that. That's something different.
Okay.
But yeah, they would just reside by themselves, kind of like self meditate in terms of trying to figure out what's the best course of action, because they definitely feel very torn regarding this circumstance.
Okay. Are you grabbing a room by yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Anyone not grabbing a room by themselves?
Otis would actually try to make a point to get everybody together, at least for a moment. The sleeping arrangements, he would probably sleep on like a couch or something close to the door.
Micah, they are trying to come.
Oh, you're being truly pensive?
Yeah,
Micah took off.
Yeah, they're trying to, because they're trying to figure things out for themselves, which is normally something that they struggle to do at times. So they're trying to self-reflect on what's the right thing, and so they're probably to themselves.
Everyone else, are you gathering up with Otis for a sec?
Except Ardris.
Yeah.
Oh. Except Ardris, apparently.
First of all, it's my house, Doug. It's my house.
That doesn't mean he has to be in the same room as you. You left, remember?
It's my house.
You said do as you see fit and left.
Kellen does, but I would also like to add, we can like message about this later, if you would like, or we can handle the scene next time. But he would have tried to arrange, like, with Pyrea before they had been split up, to meet somewhere tonight before they go to sleep, so that he could talk to her.
They are going to be unable to leave that area. Like, they're kind of being staged there as refugees. You guys only left because you were in the presence of Ardris. So, short of meeting her there or having her come with you.
Paria could have came because Urs doesn't believe she'll keep her mouth shut for 5 minutes.
Oh.
Actually,
It was fighting words.
that makes sense. So, yeah, could we say then that Ardris had arranged for her to come with us?
Sure. She's been walking along with you. A little bit quiet, but not a bad quiet, just kind of like mulling everything over, trying to reorder her worldview kind of thing.
So then he would have just kind of like, playfully elbowed her a little bit and said, finish business, then we'll talk. Whatever you need to know.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
So
he would
to talk.
He would go then meet up with Otis and then do that after.
Okay, so it's Kellen, Otis, and Miri?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, y'all three are in a room.
Hey, listen.
Mm-hmm.
Otis is actually going to start looking pointedly uncomfortable. Like, you've seen him, like, nervous, but he's looking big time, like amplified.
Big weird.
Yeah. And he goes, well, things are getting heated, and considering where we was before we teleported here, it's about time you guys knew about me. And if you want to hit the to be continued mark, you can go for it. But because I can just message everybody later.
Gotcha.
Ooh, tricky, because we do have like half the party's not involved in this conversation. And I think that could be a fun reveal later. Let's say that like we'll take this part offline since it's just the three of you guys. And then when we pick this back up, Yvain, Micah, and Ardris can get a chance to try and suss out what's going on later. Because I think it would be a fun kind of keep that narrative tension of half the party knowing something.
Oh,
fun headphones off moment during an offline moment.
Yeah. All right, so there is a conversation happening. It's pretty serious. I think it's probably pretty long as well, given the amount of information you have to go on and if you have to field any questions. So it's fairly late when you guys finish this conversation.
We're about to do the straight up teenager thing of like sleeping until noon after all of this.
Yeah, it sounds like. Just to confirm some sleeping arrangements, everyone's in their own room?
Yeah.
Sure.
Guess what, guys? It is time to go to bed. Everyone finds a room, goes to bed. Anyone send staff for some stuff, or we could go?
Oh, you know.
Argus will tell the staff. Argus tells the staff to make sure that no one leaves in the middle of the night.
Oh, that's
wandering, a tendency to wander places.
Helen asked for absolutely nothing else tonight, pointedly, not even like food or anything for washing. He asked for absolutely nothing today because he understands that he already towed the line by presumpting to tell Ardris how to assign some of his guards. But that was also really important. But now he's making a point to cause no other inconveniences.
He's like, I got my one. No more. Excellent. You all head to bed. Miri.
Oh no. Yes.
You have this feeling of warmth as you were sleeping. You're back into that wonderful dream you had where your feet were kind of off the edge of the wagon. You were traveling, and there's that same comfortable presence next to you. And you hear kind of that little chuckle, and is like, well, I am trying forgiving that you're asking. And you otherwise have a very peaceful sleep and wake up early in the morning. Everyone except Otis, go ahead and hit your long rest button. Otis.
Okay.
You have heavy nightmares.
That's about right, though.
You have nightmares to the point that you are unable to attain your long rest. You're going to have to, you can take a short rest, that's not a problem, but you are unable to get a long rest. You are at one point of exhaustion in the morning.
Oh.
As you wake up, you're all starting to gather all of your stuff. Kellen, I need a very quick perception check. Or no, I'll make an investigation for you.
Investigation? Okay. I think that is slightly better for me, so thank you for that.
You are welcome.
13, distinctively average.
All right, you're kind of getting all of your stuff together, repacking, kind of going through your things, thinking about you've got a whole bunch of tasks going on kind of in the background that because of necessarily what's going on, kind of fallen through the wayside. So you're thinking about oh yeah, I'm working on that one. I'm working on the. Wait, where's the box? And as you go through your things, the lockbox that you were working on opening is not there. And that is where we're going to stop with our mid-season finale, or whatever we're calling this. We'll pick it up in the new year.
Oh my god.
Jack does not look happy.
Oh boy. Yeah, well. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed our mid-season finale. It was a lot of curveballs, twists and turns, so hope you enjoy it. We'll be back, of course, in January. And until then, farewell for now.